Hi, everybody. So I've been trying to think of an intro for this whole YouTube situation. You know, everyone has a catchy little welcome. I feel like I'm going to say, oh, what's going on in the kitchen? Because we're in my kitchen and we're going to do crafts tonight. So my name is Veronica Rasmussen. I am with Chasing Sunshine by Veronica. I live in Northern California. I love all things thrifted. I love DIYs. I love running power tools, and I love, love, love painting furniture. With that said, I have my lovely Miss Melanie Mel from the Color Caboose sitting right next to me here. And we did a collaboration 1 week ago today. The collaboration was called Flip It for a Fan. And the objective of the collaboration was to find 2 items thrifted and then send to each other. And then we have free range of creating whatever we want. And then we're going to flip it to our fans. And with that said, if you guys are interested and if you watched that video and you did everything that you needed to do to be in the raffle, then stick around till the end of the video and you'll know if you won an item. And then we'll ship it to you free of charge. So I'm going to bounce over to my beautiful, lovely friend, Miss Melanie Mel, the Color Caboose, and she's going to introduce herself and just give me a little stuff.
Okay. Well, like Miss Beautiful Veronica said over here, I'm at boot camp in Solano Beach, California, about 3 months ago for DIY video boot camp. We're both aspiring YouTubers, you know, looking to, you know, spread our wings and, you know, find our grooves and everything. And she's just wonderful, guys. I mean, I'm sure you guys already know if you're following her. So she asked me to do this collaboration with her. We're both into upcycling, you know, keeping stuff out of landfills and making useful items out of it. So it was a lot of fun. Yeah, we're just going to get on here and go live and see who won the items that we super upcycled.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm going to play with a little bit of milk paint for you guys and paint an old mirror that came from like a dresser. We're just going to try to repurpose it and just chit chat and have fun. So
nice. What kind of milk paint are you going to use?
I was going to use Sweet Pickins milk paint.
Ooh, the good stuff. Awesome.
Okay. Crush, because I like a little girly pink every now and
then. I'm so into pink right now too because I have 3 granddaughters, brand new. In 1 year, I became a grandmother of 3, and so I am a grandmama.
Wow! Congratulations!
Thank you so much. So I'm super into pink too. I've been doing some pink stuff. I love, love, love it. Miss Carla Ward is here. Hi, sweetheart. And Kathy. Oh, Kathy, you are in the raffle. So stick around till the end of this video and you'll find out if you won. You have a really good chance because there was only 3 people that shared my video. So 1 in 3 chances of winning one of the upcycles. So with that said, we are going to jump right into our crafts and just chit chat. Here we go. Okay, what are you going to do with that mirror?
I was just going to make it look kind of chippy and then go from there. Maybe I'll add some molds to it later, or I don't know. Maybe I do super junky, or
I do love me some molds. So, girls, you know, I really thank you for your patience. This is my very first collaboration and my very first StreamYard. So we may run into a few little hiccups here and there, but I just thank you so much for your patience. And my other half, Jeremy, and I, last week did our first live together. And this is something that I painted. It's a timeout bench for the grandbabies. And I just painted it in white swan, and I'm going to wet distress it. So I just got this lint-free rag here, and it's soaking wet. And so I'm just going to do some wet distressing. Before I found the DIY clay-based paint, I was sanding everything with a sander. And I can tell you that I don't miss it. I mean, I still use a sander from time to time, but this wet distressing technique is amazing. Yes. Carla loves molds. What kind of molds do you? Yeah.
The door.
I
Are
do
you gonna
too.
keep that, or you're gonna sell that, Veronica?
We're gonna keep these because we actually have 6 grandbabies altogether. Jeremy and I have 2 previous marriages, so we have 6 total grandbabies, and his 2 grandchildren are 4 and 2. 4 and 2. Gosh, is he 4 already? I think he is. So they love this. It's not really the time out bench to them. They just like to sit around and play their Legos on it.
You both do not
But,
be old enough to have grandbabies at all. That's amazing.
Well, my eldest is 30 this year. Just turned 30, actually. We've got 4 viewers. If you guys don't mind dropping who you are and where you're from, that'd be super cool. So we kind of know. Is this angle okay where I'm sitting? Can you see me all right, sweetheart?
Yeah. I apologize if you need me to move, I will, but I have
oh no, you're fine.
Because I was trying to reorganize. All my plants are back here, and I'm like, hey, that's kind of a neat backdrop.
That's a wonderful background. Love it. So when you were at the boot camp, Miss Melanie, what would you say was your number one most memorable thing that you took from the boot camp as far as like educational?
For me, it was not necessarily anything that was taught, but it was just meeting everybody else, networking, getting to like put a face with a name, and just to see how alike we are and how talented everybody was, and just to see, even though we are all kind of in the same genre, wanting to go into the same kind of thing, there's enough room for everybody because we're all so different. And
yeah,
support and the community was what I really took away. I loved it.
Well said. Well said. I know when it kind of was a split second decision that I made. I mean, I've never, other than supplies, I've never invested money into like my I guess you would say crafty, arty, like education. I've never invested in that, and it was $1,000 for the class. And then it was roughly about $1,000 for food, motel room, travel, plus a few little trinkets here and there. And my other half went skydiving while we were there. So cool. So I've never really spent that much money. So I didn't want to do it. However, my other half said, I'll support you, sweetheart. If you want to go, I'll pay half. And so I was like, really? And so I really started thinking about it. And I don't know, I mean, $1,000 is a lot of money to me, but I would do it every day of the week if I could. I really enjoyed it. And I too took the networking out of it. Mostly, I mean, I've done videos. Do you ever, in life, I've learned this in my age as I get older, you may think you know something and you may think you're okay at something. However, when you get in a room full of other like-minded people, you really learn fast how, boy, maybe I'm not as good as I thought, or maybe I have so much to learn. And that was exactly that. I was just surrounded by all these women that just had a unique talent to each of them. And it was really, really, really a great experience for me, and I wouldn't trade it. I'm really thankful that I invested that money. If anyone that's watching this live has the opportunity to go, I know that Debbie is hosting another video boot camp. I think it's in September, if I'm right. Do you know?
I'm making a mess.
What are you doing over there?
Making a mess.
Oh, Kathy wishes that she didn't live so far away from Debbie's boot camp. She would love to learn from. Oh, yeah. If you ever have a chance to go, it's really a lot of fun. And if you do decide to go, I know that you could reach out. Once you pay and you're in the group, you can talk to other folks that are going and then like share rooms. A couple of the ladies, I think like 4 of the ladies actually rented a house, and it was probably cheaper for them to do that than it was our motel room, honestly. And it had a pool and all kinds of cool stuff. So, there is some cost savings there because you could just work with people and like maybe everyone going on renting a car or whatever it might be. I was telling, I did this live stream a few minutes ago, but I had to bounce out and we came back in. It's working now. Thank you, Jesus. But in that last one, I just mentioned to folks that I'm now in the Turquoise Iris Creative Connections group, and she only opens it up, I think, 4 times a year so that people can actually join. So I don't know if membership's actually currently open, but I'm learning so much from all those ladies. You know, the number one thing that I'm getting from it is just so much positivity. Everyone is so positive in there. I just love it.
Yes, that's, you know, that's something that's super amazing to me to see, you know. A lot of times, I don't want to sound bad, but in my experience, a lot of times, because I work with mostly men and you do too, but a lot of times when you get too many women together, there's a lot of headbutting going on. But in this in this community, not so much. Everybody's so supportive. And
It's true.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I love it.
It is. I guess so. One thing that I mentioned earlier as well is that, you know, if you can't follow me, I do apologize, but I'm kind of one of these weeds people where I'll be talking about something and then it'll remind me of something else. So I'll start off on that weed over there. And then, you know, if you don't know me, you're like, what is she even talking about? So I apologize in advance if that happens, guys. I apologize in advance. But where I was going with the whole Turquoise Iris Creative Connection group is she is getting ready to have in October what is she calling it?
Is it one of her retreats?
It is a retreat. It's a creative retreat or something like that. And it's in Texas, I do believe, and it's a beautiful house. And I'm really, my other half just gave me the okay to go. So I'm seriously considering going to that. I think it would, yeah, because everyone is staying in the same house, and it's gonna be like, it's a house that's big enough for like 42 people or something, but there's only gonna be 25, I think, women that are gonna go, or women, whoever, you know, goes. Yeah, and so I think it's like $900 and some for the actual creative retreat. Maybe it's just called a creative retreat. I don't know. But and then the house, I think it's like $1,200. So if I paid like $300 a month until then, I mean that could be doable, right? I just got back from a fire, so I got a little bit of extra earnings there.
Isn't it so cool what Veronica does for a living? I don't know. Have you shared that with them?
Oh, no, I'm basically I work for the Quartz Valley Indian Reservation, and I'm a fire administrator. And so what that means is we have a fire program, and we have a bunch of different elements to that. We have an economic development portion, which we have a hand washing station and a water tender. We're a baby fire department. I'm building the program essentially. Oh, okay, there's that word. So every time I say essentially, I owe Melanie 50 cents. So that's a $1 so far.
We'll give you that one.
Okay. It's a word I'm trying to stop saying. And so basically with the economic development side of the fire hall, we contract out with CAL FIRE and the Forest Service and go on wildland fires. And so I do that. And then the other component is community protection. And I've been working with the Scott Valley Fire Department trying to create an MOU, which is a memorandum of understanding, so that we basically can work together, because they already have the county blessing to be an ordained fire hall, and we do not, because we're a baby fire hall and we're just starting. So we have all the equipment, we have the space, and we have myself, and things are just getting going. I've been in this position for just a year and a half now, but my main experience comes from the U.S. Forest Service. I worked for 23 years with the Klamath and Six Rivers National Forest. So yeah, that's what I do. But let's talk about you, Miss Melanie Mel. Your job is amazing. Tell us a little bit about that.
I don't do anything super exciting. I work for the railroad, and I drive those big orange ugly trains you see, and you probably cussed out when you get stopped at a crossing and they're blocking you for a little while.
Where at? Where do you live?
Well, my route is between Amarillo and Belen, New Mexico, and I'm stationed out of New Mexico, which is
Okay.
one of the biggest hubs in the country for rail traffic.
So, do you transport people or do you transport items? Or
We transport freight, all different kinds of freight, anything from crude oil to brand new automobiles to your mail to Amazon Prime.
oh, really? Amazon Prime? That's why it gets to us so fast, huh?
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. So, what does your typical day look like on your job? So, you show up to work in the morning, and then what?
Well, I'm on call, and they give me a call, and once they give me a call, I got 90 minutes to get to work.
Oh,
And
wow.
I can work for up to 12 hours, and then I'm considered dead on the law. So
Wow.
some days are shorter than others. Some days can be really long. And
How far away do you live from your station?
I'm about 50 miles away from my job.
50?
50 miles away, yeah.
Are you kidding me? And how you have 90 minutes to get there?
I got 90 minutes, but I'm close to freeways, and there's not a lot of traffic here where I live. In California, there'd be no way.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's not a big deal.
Super proud of you. Have you ever not made it in your 50 minutes?
Yeah, sometimes there's things that happen. You know, there's could be like a traffic jam or some kind of unforeseeable circumstance. But you know, in that case, you just give them a call and say, "Hey, I'm gonna be a little late," and usually they're like, "Okay, just get here safe." So.
Cool, that's good. So you work with mostly men. Are there any other women conductors?
Yeah, there's a few of us out there. There's not a lot, but
Yeah.
yeah, I probably, I'll run into a few within my week.
Yeah.
But, I can go several days without seeing another woman there. It's not a big deal, though. I'm kind of one of the guys at work.
Yeah, me too. I always got along with the guys too. Like you said, women are kind of catty, right?
Some can be. Some can be. Hey, you know what? Men can be pretty catty too.
You're right. You're right.
I'm sure you've experienced that.
Yeah. I feel like I'm done distressing this.
I love that.
I think it turned out pretty cute. And so I'll just, as soon as it dries, I'll put some wax over that and seal it up. And I have started painting. Where did I put that? Here it is. Oh, I didn't tell you, but right before this live started, I received my first shipment of sweet pickins milk paint.
That's awesome.
I know. So does that mirror go to anything like a dresser, or is it a standalone mirror?
It was a mirror that went into a dresser, and I redid the dresser and sold it. And now I just have a mirror. So I was thinking of just making the mirror as an accent piece.
Right on. What are you gonna do to it?
I don't know. I was gonna give it one coat of paint, let it chip, and then see what I feel from there. Maybe I can add some hooks on the bottom if I wanted to. I could stamp some words onto it. I like to sometimes put molds onto the glass, and then paint. That looks kind of cool.
I think I just seen that on I don't know, maybe something Pinterest or something. That is sweet. How many times have you done that before?
I've done that like twice. I did I upcycled an old gun cabinet.
Okay.
And my thing was to turn it from masculine to real feminine. And I turned it into kind of like a little French display cabinet.
Oh, how beautiful.
I have a picture of that on my Instagram page.
What kind of paint did you use?
I used milk paint actually. Yeah, I used white milk paint. Yeah. And I used milk paint because it's I wanted to have the chippy look, and I know that milk paint sticks really good to all kinds of surfaces. So I actually had to paint over the glass in some areas, and it stuck really, really well to the glass. So
really?
Yeah. And it gives a nice buttery finish when you sand it back. So yeah, I love milk paint.
That's great. Yeah, I agree. DIY distresses really, really well, but there's nothing that can beat that chippy milk paint authentic loveliness.
Yes.
Super, super excited. So what I'm doing here is I just painted this frame in old school DIY clay-based paint. If you guys don't know what DIY paint is, it is a clay chalk paint that is manufactured out of New Mexico, Arizona, and it only has 9 ingredients in it. It is super, super thick and pigmented. And so the reason those two things are good is because it's so thick you can dilute it down, like, I don't know, I've even heard of 10-to-1, but as much as you want to paint with. And people use it for watercolors on canvases. They use it for, it can act as an acrylic because it dries really fast. I don't know if you guys are familiar with, it's called a clay board from Daniel Smith, and it's basically a hard board covered with a thin layer of clay so that when you paint on it, you can scratch into it and just really make some really cool indentions and just scratches and whatever. You can build the layers up and stuff. And so this paint would work super, super well on those clay boards. It's made with 9 ingredients, and it's all natural, no VOCs. My other half and I are starting a website called Chasing Sunshine by Veronica, and it's going to be live next week. I'm going to give myself 1 week. We've been working on it really hard, and you'll be able to purchase any of these products that you see tonight on the website. It looks like, yeah. So, hi there, sweetheart. Jedi, is that Jedi? I'm the worst reader speller in the world. What does that say? Jedi? Melanie. Jedi. How do you pronounce that? Jedi. Okay. Jedi, how are you? Thank you for joining us. I really, really appreciate it. Sorry for botching your name. It's me. I'm sorry.
Be with you.
I apologize. So, okay, so with this is just an old frame with lots and lots of detail, and that's what I love, is lots and lots of detail. And I am going to put some JRB, whoa, careful, JRB decoupage paper on the glass.
Ooh, which one are you using?
Huh?
Which decoupage are you using?
Let me grab it really fast. I feel so much more comfortable now. I guess that's the one good thing about doing a collab. You can kind of step away from the camera because you can entertain.
What I'm doing over here, guys, is I'm actually putting on my second layer of milk paints because the first layer dried really quick. I like to make my milk paint a little bit chunkier and thicker than 1:1 ratio. Out here in the desert where I live, it dries super fast. And I don't mind all the chunks because, as like Jamie Ray says, the chunks actually give a little bit of a spot where the sander's going to catch, and it's probably going to chip a little bit better there. I also didn't add any extra bond to this because I wanted to get chippy. I wanted to look kind of distressed and old and crusty, Sometimes crusty looks good on some things.
Yeah, for sure. Tell me a little bit about that mirror you said you did where you put the appliques on the actual mirror and then painted between the applique and the frame, and so it looks like it's part of the frame still. How did that work out? Did the appliques fall off at all ever?
No. I attached them with just regular wood glue, and I kind of made like an outline of like a little curved detail. My inspiration was this like really ornate looking French armoire, and I'm like, I'm gonna do something kind of similar because my mirror was just square and I wanted to look kind of like ornate, so I did that. And then I added a little bit of clay like you did, rolled it out and then stamped it, and I added that in the middle as well, not on the entire piece, and then I painted in all that area, so it actually looked like it was like a carved detail instead of
That's super cool. Are you doing that on this one too, you said?
I don't know if I'm going to do that on this. I might actually take the mirror off and then maybe put some muriatic acid on the back of it and make it look like kind of old.
Oh yeah, I watched Jamie and Zeb did a mirror like that. It's pretty cool when they do that. So, and then also when you do that acid on the back and it kind of creates those peekaboos, you can put the decoupage paper on the back side so that the decoupage paper peeks through. Did you see that one that Jamie and Zeb did?
I didn't see that one. That sounds awesome.
Yeah, check it out. Just go to the Jamie and Zeb's channel and do search maybe a decoupage mirror. I would do something like that.
I like
so
that.
This is a little piece of glass that I have. It's just 8.5 by 11 that goes into that frame. And what I'm going to do is fold the, this is also the decoupage paper. It's the JRV decoupage paper. And this is one of their first release papers. And they are just coming out with their next release. And I am placing my order on Saturday for some of that paper, but so what I'm doing is taking this piece of glass and I'm just going to kind of hold it up to kind of get the composition that I want so I know where to cut it out. And one thing that I learned is when you put something on a canvas or just something like this, a composition, you don't really want to just put like, okay, you just don't want to put the butterfly right in the middle because it just makes for not an interesting composition, essentially. Oh, and so you kind of want to like bleed off the edge or you just have a little bit coming in from each side and maybe even leaving some of those hollow spaces lighter white. That's kind of a little trick that I learned. So I'm
that's
just
an awesome trick.
Yeah, so I'm just going to do that real quick. I kind of have an idea what I want. And so I'm going to show you guys, when I was at boot camp, on the very last day, we had like a, what do you call it, a market day where we tried to sell the items that we had worked on that week. And Miss Ellen J. Goods, her name is Lynn, she created this little guy right here, and all I said was, that is so gorgeous. And she says, well, it's yours then.
Let me see.
I know, everyone was so freaking kind there. And then Autumn from Island Heart Vintage, she gave me the side table that she created because she lives in, I want to say Washington, was that right? Or Florida. Anyhow, I feel like it's Washington, but she was flying home, and so she couldn't take it home, and she gave it to me, and it is in our living room right now, and everyone was just so kind. That's my bottom line. That's getting in the weeds. So this is what it is. Here we go, and so basically it's just a deep dished frame, and this is some JRV decoupage paper that she used. And so when it's setting in the window, the sun shines through it, and that's what was happening when I seen it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. So it just brings that image to life. It's amazing. And we find these kind of frames like all the time, right? So I asked her if I could use her as my inspiration and do the same thing.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Super easy flip. A great gift idea for someone.
I just love Lynn. Like she's exactly how I pictured her to be after like watching her lives and just like seeing her. She's exactly how I thought she would be in person. She's a big sweetheart.
I feel like she was one of the sweetest ladies there. She was really quiet. I feel like she was really quiet, and then I finally approached her, and she just really listened. She's one of these people that when you talk, she is really patient, and she doesn't interrupt like myself, like I'm working on that, but she just like listens to you and looks you in the eye, and it's almost mesmerizing. She was just a sweetheart. Okay, I feel like I found my composition, so I'm going to cut. And so some people might fret at actually cutting a whole piece of decoupage paper like this, but the thing of it is you can, I'm not wasting any of this. I'm going to save all that I'm not cutting out right now and use it in different projects. And you could cut it up in many different, like cut around everything so that it's not just square. That's what Actually, that's what Lynn did on her dresser that she did. It was one of JRB's decoupage papers as well, and she cut around it. So say like this butterfly, there's a lot of really cool stuff on this paper. There's all the wording and the butterfly and the flower here. But what she did is she actually cut around everything, and so that when she put it on her piece, it didn't look like, I guess, just like you didn't see any of the edges at all. And so I thought that was a really good idea. She taught me that.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
She's super talented.
Yeah, she is.
I love Lynn. I'm going to step away for a moment to grab something else to paint because I already painted this.
Yeah. So we have 3 people on here. Is Kathy, are you still here? Let me know if you're still here. Kathy put in for the drawing, so I hope she sticks around to the end. And even if she didn't, we will find her and get her address if she wins. Which I hope that whoever wins really likes it. The way we worked it out is, yeah, I guess I probably shouldn't have stepped away like that. We left you guys with no one around. So what was I saying? What was I saying? I can't even remember. That's me for you. So I am using the Secret Sauce, and that is the liquid patina. This is basically a top coat, a decoupage medium. You could use it for many, many, many things. You could put some of this pennies from heaven in it, and then do like a top coat on like an entire dresser or something, and have that like shimmery, sparkly goodness. There's all kinds of things that you can use that for, and that's why we call it the secret sauce.
Secret
Sauce. What?
Oh. I have a son. I don't have any daughters. I have a son, and he likes to watch. It's actually here on YouTube. It's these guys that go around and they get all kinds of fast food, and they make like this one giant meal and stuff, and they always make a sauce out of Jack Daniels, and they're always like, "Oh, let's put more Jack Daniels sauce." He's always saying that. More sauce.
Is that like the drive and dine or something like that? I don't know.
It's definitely a boy thing, but
Yeah.
I was a boy, so.
When I worked for the Forest Service, I worked at many different things. At one phase of my career, I worked as the resource specialist, and so with that, so when you work on a national forest, there's all kinds of different components to it. And one of them is like whitewater rafting and fishing guides, backpacker guides and such. And so to be a guide, to make money on the national forest, you have to have a permit to do it, right? So I administered the permits. And so with that said, what was I going to say? What were we talking about right before that?
I don't know, but I'm interested. That's awesome.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. Okay, so there's that show where I think it's like 3 different guys, and they go to different parts of the world and they race like 3 different things, like side by side in different areas. And so I don't even know the name of the show, but what they came to us and they wanted a permit to have like a jet boat in the river, in the Klamath River, and a race car on Highway 96. And then on the other side of the river was an old dirt road. It wasn't, I don't know the name of it. It's like Horse Creek Road, or not Horse Creek, but I don't know. But anyway, there was like a dirt road, a paved road, and the river in between. And so they wanted to do this like race. And the forest didn't go for it, unfortunately, but I thought that was super cool. Wouldn't that have been cool?
That is so cool.
Yeah. So what I'm doing here, and I just have this piece of glass, and I'm putting a layer of liquid patina on here. And I'm going to do a slightly generous layer because I've never actually put it on glass like this. And I just want to make sure that it sticks. So
I've never put patina on glass either.
Huh.
I'm curious.
Me too. So let me look at her example. So she just put the decoupage paper on this side of the glass. So I'm gonna do the same. keeping in mind my composition. Of course, of course. Okay. So once you get it down and you can see that it's actually adhered, you kind of want to gently work the bubbles out. The JRV decoupage paper is pretty thick though, and so it doesn't rip real easy. So that's one good thing about it. And it's all unique to Jamie and Zeb Ray. I'm sure all of you lovely folks are, oh, hello. It says, I am color with oh, it says, I am color in with my oh, you're coloring with your granddaughter. Nice.
Aww.
How many grandkids do you have, Kathy? Grandbabies. And what do they call you? Like, what's your name to them? Like Grandma, Nana? Do you have a special name? I was always like, I always joked around with my kids, and I said, well, when I'm a grandmother, they're not calling me grandma, they're calling me auntie. It was always just a joke, kind of. And then when I had my babies, I realized they are definitely going to call me whatever they want to call me, and I'm totally fine with that. But with my first grandchild last year, I was like, what is she gonna call me? What is she gonna call me? And so my granddaughter's elder sister came up with a Nani, and so I thought that was adorable. Yeah, and so so she calls me Nani, and then my other granddaughter from Montana, she is Native American there, and she calls me Kina. And so in, I forget, is it Blackfoot or, I can't remember the actual tribe, but they don't call them tribes in Montana, they call them bands, like a band, like a heavy metal band, like a band.
Sweet.
Yeah, isn't that cool? And so the Native American name for grandma is Kina, and so she calls me Kina, and then my granddaughter that lives here, she is going to call me, well, they're all going to call me whatever they want to call me, but when they're old enough, but she calls me grandmama. Have you guys watched the show, what is that called, Downtown Abbey? Have you watched that?
I have not seen Downtown Abbey. I've been needing to check it out though. It sounds awesome. It
is super cool. If you like that kind of stuff, like shows in the 1920s, you know, just with how they lived, and I was hooked. I watched it like, I watched it. It took me like 3-4 days probably to finish watching it, and I watched three like all of it. Marathon, I guess you call it, right?
Binge watching.
Binge watching. And so anyway, my point was that they call their folks grandmama. And it's kind of cute because my daughter calls me she calls me mama, so grandmama. Yeah.
That's cute.
Aww. So Kathy has 2, and you are Anna, or ANNA, Anna. How cute is that? Love it. Where do you live, Kathy? Okay, so I feel like I got enough top coat on there. I'm gonna leave it be and let it dry.
So are you putting the top coat on? Did you put the top coat on the glass and then put the paper, or just put the paper?
Yes. Yeah, that's what I did. I put the top coat on the glass first, and then I put it's a liquid patina, and then I put the liquid patina over that. And so then when it dries, I'll come back and just sand this edge. I'll sand the edge. I'm going to leave it alone. When you're doing crafts and art, it is critical to know when to stop. You gotta know when to stop. Right. I've messed so many pieces up by not stopping. How long have you been painting furniture?
As long as I can remember, I guess. Like, I guess when I was like a teenager and I wanted like, you know, a fun colored like bedroom set, and my mom was like, "Well, if you want that, you can always just paint it. And I was like, yeah, that'd be sweet. So, you know, my mom always let me let me be creative. She even let me, when I was in middle school, like splatter paint my bedroom.
That's awesome.
So she went and got me a bunch of different, I remember it was, I asked her to get me like the quart size containers of purple, yellow, black, and green. And I splatter painted my whole bedroom with that.
Purple, yellow, black, and green.
Yeah.
Purple, yellow, black, and green. So what color were your walls?
They were white, and then I just splatter painted over them.
Oh, you just like flicked it?
Yeah, I just went crazy with the paintbrushes and splattered all over.
That's so freaking cool.
It was very psychedelic. But
that's awesome. How old were you?
I was like in middle school. So let's see, that was man, I gotta age myself, huh?
No, you're young, you're beautiful, you're grand. So Kathy says, oh my, I need to turn off spell check. I'm a Nana and I live in Florida. Okay, that makes more sense. I said, Anna, that's cute. So Nana, and you live in Florida. That's awesome.
That is cute.
Love, love, love it. And what are you guys coloring? So I am going to use Apothecary and do this little, what you call it? What do you call this? A stool. I got it for $3 at a yard sale, and I'm using my S50 Klingon brush. These brushes are by far, do I dare to say it, the best brushes I've ever used.
I got my Klingon right here. I love them.
Which one are you using?
I'm using, let's see, my R14.
R14. I just ordered one. That's a round, and how wide is it? Like must be like an inch or something?
It's kind of similar to like that the Pink Pixie one, the one that gets into the fine details. I love this.
Okay.
Awesome.
Nice. Yeah. What?
Oh, I'm just here, and I made some molds because I figured, why not? I'll put some molds on here. This what do I have here? I don't remember the name of this one. I think this is.
Is it an IOD mold?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's that one. It's got like filigree. It's like for the corners. I think that's probably my favorite mold. I use it.
Oh yeah. Is it one of the newer ones or is it an older one?
It's an older one, but it's one of my favorites. I love that one.
So is that made out of resin or is it made out of paper clay?
I'm using paper clay. And
nice.
Just the Hobby Lobby paper clay. I'm going to have to try your recipe when I run out of this, which I'm almost out of it.
Yeah, you know, I was telling the folks a little while ago that, so the paper clay sticks to the recipe that I put up. It's basically like a half a cup of everything and then maybe 1 cup of flour, because I redid the recipe again. I made it 3 times, and the first time turned out the best with the smaller portions. The second time I went back to the original lady that invented the recipe. Her name is Bobby from Paper Mache. Just look up paper mache and Bobby will come up. Oh, wait a minute. So Kathy says, let me get to her comment really fast. She says, flowers in the coloring book. She is 3 and I have the cutest video of her painting a wicker chair. Oh, that is amazing. Do you have a YouTube channel, Kathy? You should post it if Mama Bear don't mind. And then Kathy says her bedtime is she wants to paint, but we are coloring with gel pens. Nice. Hey, Miss Bree, you found, yes, I found my girl. There she is. Yeah, it was our first time using StreamYard, so we figured it out. We got out and came back in. Thanks for coming back, Bree.
It worked.
Yeah, so since you left, we've done quite a few little crafts. You'll have to check it on the replay if you're interested. Right now I'm using Apothecary. It's one of my favorite colors, and I feel like a lot of people really love Apothecary. And so there's a component of I don't want to be boring because it's pretty common, but it's one of my favorite colors ever. It's like, isn't it beautiful?
It's a great color. It's almost like a neutral kind of greenish tone, huh?
Yeah. I love it. What's your favorite color in the DIY line, Mel?
Ooh, you know what? I think their blues are my favorite. The
The like
DIY
the bohemian blue or which one?
I don't know. I like all the blues. I like Apothecary. I love Old 57. Bohemian blue is, you can't get that color in any other paint, for sure.
You know what?
Bohemian blue.
Yeah.
It can be
What
deep.
about it?
It can also be like a light, kind of like tealish color. I love it.
Yeah.
I love all their. I haven't used the new one by Turquoise. I have it. The Blue Iris. Have you used the Blue Iris much? I haven't used that one much.
Yeah, I would say that the blue iris and the bohemian blue are my favorite deep colors. I love the blue iris. It kind of reminds me of a cobalt blue. What's your favorite color, Miss Bree? I think it's one of those greens, if I recall. Aviary, maybe? Is that your favorite color? The DIY paint?
So is Miss Bree also a DIY paint retailer?
Oh, you haven't seen Miss? You know Bree, don't you?
I've seen a couple of her videos on YouTube. She's amazing.
Yeah, she is amazing. She is a retailer for the DIY. Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, she is. She's one of these folks that you just binge watch all of them, and then you're just like waiting for the next video. Waiting. I think I seen another video. Did you post another video today, Bree? Because when I tuck in bed at night, that's when I really like to watch my YouTube. Fall asleep to you, and I've watched all your videos. So I'm that girl that's on the edge of my seat, always waiting for the next one.
I love it. She's super talented.
She really is.
Video when she did the collaboration with Miss Melissa.
Yeah, that's when I found her actually. Yeah.
Same here.
Oh. She says, "Oh shucks." Well, it's true. When you're good, girl, and you're good. I really liked that one that you just did recently. It was like, your morning routine or a day in the life of Bree. You should do another one. Remember, I requested for you to show us how you store all of your DIY and all of your products and how you keep. Okay, this is what I really wanted. How you keep your thrifted finds organized. So like I live in a little house. It's just this much bigger than a tiny house. It's an old barn that my other half Jeremy and I have renovated into a little home. And so with that said, we have zero storage, and we're in the process of getting a she shed or studio. And so I'm needing to, it's going to be small. It's going to be like 12 by 16 max. That's the biggest. And so I'm going to need to know how to like organize my thrifted finds so that when it sells, I can just bam, know right where it's at instead of digging through everything. You know what I mean? So if you could please do a video that shows us how you organize and store your thrifted finds mainly, but you can throw it all in there if you want. You showed us a little bit about your paint setup in your closet. I've seen that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Too.
I like those ones. I mean, so I like all kinds of YouTube videos. I really like your videos, Mill, and then Debbie's. The way it's like you're just showing tidbits of like you're zooming into the thick paint, you're zooming into like the brush strokes and the befores and the afters, and then great music. Like I really jive on those kind of videos, but I also really love lives, even if we're just like chit-chatting like this, and it kind of gets a little bit of like people's mannerisms and how they talk and how they are and kind of a bit of their personalities. So I really like lives, and I watch a lot of lives where they like Jamie Ray, and they go on for like over an hour when I'm cooking dinner or I'm doing chores, but I have them in the background. So I kind of like it all. What's your favorite?
I enjoy the lives too, just like listening, because you feel like you're like in the room with them. They're your friends,
Yeah.
I love a lot of I watch all kinds of different. It's funny though. I don't remember the last time I actually watched TV, but I watch YouTube a lot, and I love to watch just people doing like random stuff, like DIY stuff. There's one guy that does leathersmith that I really like. He does amazing work, and I just think it's amazing. And woodworkers, I love watching woodworkers. I love watching furniture painters, and just to see how their take on something. Because what I like to do is visualize, when they show the piece of furniture, and I'm like, oh, I know what I would do with that. And then I watch their video, and I'm like, oh, they totally did it, something that I would never thought of.
Right.
And that always amazes me. Like what you did with the items I sent you. In my mind, because I wasn't going to send you something that I didn't have an idea for. So I'm like, if I don't have an idea for this, I'm not going to send it to her. And then what you did with it, I was like, whoa, I would have never thought of that. Are you kidding me? Those are like got to be the fanciest chickens ever to have that feeder.
I know. And so whoever wins the raffle, my side of the raffle, they'll get to pick whichever one they want. But if they don't pick the chicken one, I'll just give it to my daughter because she has chickens. Realistically, it'll work for chickens for sure, but you'll definitely have to like redo the water like every day. You know what I mean? Just put fresh water in there probably, but that's good anyway. Chickens want fresh water.
So what was your thought process when you got the items? Were you just like, what the? Or were you like, whoa, I know what I'm going to do right away?
With the rings, the napkin rings, what I really thought of doing was, I kind of cheated by not using all of them, I feel. But what I was going to do, there's your baby. What's your baby's name? Her
name is Candy.
Candy. Oh, what a sweetheart. Do you have 2 pugs or 1?
I have 3 of them.
3 of them. Oh my gosh. Hey, Chavez. That's my other half. Looks like I caught you in the end. I know, but my other half is actually on a fire right now down south. He's on a wildland fire use module, and he's the captain, the superintendent for that crew. And so what he does is he runs a 10-man module, and when there's fires on national forests and it's typically in like a wilderness area, they send these wildland fire modules out into the wilderness, typically to spike out, and that means that they stay out there for like up to 2 weeks at a time typically, and either monitor the fires. The Forest Service has been trying to go after a model of letting in the wilderness areas where there's no threats to any structures, land, or not land, the structures or life. The fire is actually doing good. And in the wilderness areas, typically the weather is much cooler because of the elevation, and the fuels are more sparse. It's kind of a mosaic fuel type where it's not like compact, like, touching each other tree trunks, and so the probability of spread is lower than fires, we'll say, on the national forest lands where we haven't been logging as much as we should. Anyway, we could go on forever, but basically that's what they do. They also are they put fires out too, but they're specialized. They know a lot more about the fuel types and models and such. So he's on here. Yay! Hi, honey. Did I explain that good enough, sweetheart?
That's awesome. Thank you for such your hard work and dedication to what you do.
He does a really good job. Thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for being a Miss Conductor. Is that what you call it? Train conductor? Is that what your position title is?
Well, I used to be. I'm a locomotive engineer now, but I'm still a conductor too. I do that once in a while.
So, what's the difference between a locomotive engineer and a conductor?
Well, the engineer actually operates the train.
Okay.
The conductor does. The engineer is in charge of the engines, and the conductor is in charge of all the cars. So, if the car needs to be moved around, the conductor gets on the ground and separates the train and puts the car away, builds the train.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Talks to the dispatcher and stuff while we're like going down the road and stuff because, the engineer's busy operating. So the conductor does all that stuff. Actually, it's crazy. The conductor is in charge of the crew. So whatever my conductor says, not like whatever he says, but if he says, hey, I think you're going too fast, please slow down, I have to slow down.
Okay. Do you go too fast?
No, I go my train speed, but sometimes
What?
there could be like flash floods, or there could be like high wind, or something going on where kind of have to go slower.
Yeah.
Or following in another train or something, and you could be like, no, I want you to stop here, even though you have a signal, because I don't want you to block those crossings, or
Right. So what is the average speed for a train to go?
They go on my territory anywhere between 45 miles an hour and 70.
Okay. And so that's hauling supplies, but if you are hauling people, do they go faster?
Yeah, passenger trains go a lot faster.
Okay.
Amtrak.
I never grew up around trains, so I'm like, I don't know anything about trains, honestly.
It's okay. I know it's kind of like a foreign thing. A lot of people think that there's still jobs like that. Like they think of it as something of the past, but we're still out here.
Have you seen Hell on Wheels, the series Hell on Wheels?
I've seen a couple episodes, yeah.
Did you not like it?
It was interesting. It's funny because I can always critique something like that.
You what? He always critiques something like that.
Yeah, I'm always like, well, it's kind of, just like that movie, Unstoppable. Did you ever see that movie, Unstoppable?
Yeah.
Yeah. My brother was like, oh man, you're a real, bad A. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's the extreme.
How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 2 younger brothers.
Oh, so you're the not the baby girl, but you're the girl.
Yeah, I'm the baby. Well, actually, it's funny. I'm 5'2", and my brothers are 6'1" and 6'3", so they're kind of like my little big brothers.
That's awesome. Did you grow up there? Were you in New Mexico?
Yes, I grew up here.
That's awesome.
It's cool.
I actually was on a fire there once. When I was working on the helicopter, I responded to a fire in New Mexico, and then I flew from New Mexico, because when you're on the helicopter and you show up to work, say there's like 6 people on the crew, you show up to work and you're either on the buggy or you're on the ship. The ship is the helicopter. And so the buggy basically has the radio communications in there and all the supplies to help supply the crew with their stuff that they need, right? Their nets, their buckets, all that stuff. And so in the helicopter, so I didn't get to fly there. I got to drive in the buggy, and so I drove in the buggy there. But then when I was there, I got to hop on the ship and fly from New Mexico to was it Arizona? No, it was Arizona to New Mexico, and it's like an aspen forest, right? Is that what your forest is? Predominantly aspen trees?
Yeah, we have aspens and pinon and those kind of trees, yeah.
Yeah, so I just remember that because it was an aspen forest and it was just like shimmery, like silver dollar. It was so gorgeous. And the helicopter that I was in was a Type 2 helicopter, and it feels like a school bus. Like the seats in the back are made out of that canvas, and it's like, you hit like canvas that's like really tight, and it goes ding ding, kind of like that. And so it's like really rugged. It's basically a helicopter from the wars is what it is. It was a war helicopter. And that's so basically cool. Yeah, I felt like I was in a school bus. It was like like that's the way it felt, like I was in a school bus. It was freaking awesome.
That's so cool. Hey, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was. I grew up in Happy Camp, California, and it's just like a really, really tiny community with like 1,000 people, and it was an old mining community, and the mines all shut down. There was three not mining, pardon me, there was mining going on there too, but it was an old logging community years and years ago. And so I grew up there, and school was really, really hard for me. I didn't really apply myself like I should have. And so school wasn't for me, is my point. And I did not go to college. I went to one semester of a junior college. And then the Forest Service had this like low income youth program called STEP. And it was for like disadvantaged low income children, right? And so I qualified for that. And I worked for the Forest Service through that program for 2 years. My freshman, I think it was my freshman and senior year or something like that. And I just worked my tail off. And so they just brought me back as a temporary, and then I finally got picked up as an apprentice. And the apprenticeship program was fire. Before that, I was on a BD crew it's a brush disposal crew. And then I transitioned into the apprenticeship program, which was all fire. And so when you're in that program, you have to go through 4 components. You have to go through your hand crew time, your engine time, your helicopter time, and you have to have some dispatch and prevention time. And so that's when I was on the helicopter. Do you see what I mean when I tell you I go into the weeds? Like, what were we talking about? And then I had to tell that whole story. What is my problem?
I think it's amazing, though. That is so neat. I've never been on a helicopter. It sounds like fun. I would do it. It's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, right. That's why I told the story. It just reminded me. Because I would have never, I don't think, had the opportunity to do all these super amazing things if it weren't for the Forest Service in that program. It was my whole point. Like, it's an amazing career. If you guys out there that are watching this ever need help applying for the Forest Service, you just let me know in the comments and I can help you out, because I worked in a lot of different avenues within the forest. I worked in finance, I worked in personnel information, I worked in recreation, special uses, like helicopter engines, hand crew. I did all of it. And so I kind of know the ropes of how to apply, and it's not easy. There's a process to it. Like, if you want to be a firefighter, a temporary firefighter next fire season, you have to actually apply in October, November, and it always changes. So you have to be on top of it and know when the positions are flying, and there's all kinds of components to it. So if you guys never need any help, you just let me know.
That's amazing. Cool.
What about your position? Like, how did you come across that job?
Oh, well, my son was, he loved trains when he was little. Like a lot of little boys, they love trains.
Yeah.
Some love trains, and we used to take him out to like all the like little local trains everywhere. The ones that were at the mall, the ones at the zoo, you know. We have a couple steam trains that run like in northern New Mexico and also southern Colorado that we used to take him to a lot. And I used to just talk with the crews, and I saw an opening for a conductor for our local passenger rail, and I applied. And it's kind of a longer story, but I got hired. I got hired 1 out of like 400.
Wow, that's amazing.
And
it's pretty amazing.
It's kind of crazy how that happened, but I got lucky because I had no experience. I was a pet stylist.
Huh, what does that mean?
For 10 years, I was a pet stylist. I'm like you. I never went to college.
I
was working for a pet store that had a grooming facility in it, and I was a dog bather in high school. And I wasn't going to college right after high school. I'm good at school. I can do great in school, but I'm not I didn't want to go to college. I was done with it after high school. I was like, man, I don't want to go. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
So they offered to send me to school
Wow.
In exchange of being a groomer for them for 2 years. So I said, okay, well, sure. I've already worked here for 1.5 years. What's 2 more years, right?
Right.
So they sent me off to Michigan, and I went to a grooming academy there. I did really, really good. And then I got on, when I came back, they offered me my own store where I became a salon manager at 19.
Wow.
Youngest salon manager in the region, and I did that for 10 years. And then I just decided, well, I want to try something different because, I'm good at this, but is this all I'm ever going to do?
Aww.
Yeah. And then I got into the.
So did you get picked up the first time you applied for the engineer position?
Yeah, I got I got my I became a conductor for passenger rail. I did that for 4 years, and then I went over to freight, just so I could get into the railroad retirement and stuff.
Right on.
And I
That's
was a conductor for 5 years, and I was like, well, it's time to learn how to run these things. So I went to school.
Is it hard?
No, it's not hard. Actually, I went to school in Breeze neighborhood in Kansas for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Were you able to take your husband?
No, I had to go myself. So that was a hard year.
I bet that was hard.
Yeah, my husband had to, and he's so supportive of me. He really, really is. I can't be like, he's so supportive. He picks up a lot of slack when I can't be home. So
that's so nice.
For the kiddo that year all by himself, he had to like basically be like a single dad. For myself. I was back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
2 months in Kansas, and I'd come home, and yeah.
Wow, good for you, sweetheart. That's amazing. What a great story. It's nice when you have supportive other halves. My other half supports me 100% too. Yeah. So thankful.
So, is it time to do the name drawing?
You want to do that? Yeah, I guess we have been on here for an hour and 5 minutes. So, where I'm at currently, I put a coat of Apothecary, the DIY paint on this. I'm going to put a Jamie Ray vintage stencil number on the top. And I have painted that frame and got my dental polish paper going on that. And what have you done so far with your?
Well, I painted the frame with 2 coats of milk paint. They both dried. I didn't see a whole lot of chipping, so I've been going around with my spray bottle and just kind of misting it. That way I paint, and it'll actually cause it to do a little more chippy. So I'm kind of encouraging it to do that. I've also I made some molds. I don't know if I'm going to keep the molds, so I just haven't glued them down yet. And then I went ahead and painted this little metal tray because it sticks really great to metal. Milk paint, and I love that. So why not? Right?
That's awesome. So are you making one of these? Would you happen to be making one of these out of that tray?
I might be making one of those.
Oh, you guys, Miss Melanie made this for me, and it's one of these like muffin tins, like she painted right there, and then she put some. Is this PVC or is this what kind of piping is this?
It's just it's a dowel.
Oh, it's actually wood. Okay, so wooden dowel, and then you got some. Are these plastic or copper elbows here?
They're just little copper elbows.
Okay.
And then some hooks, and that's it.
And then some little J hooks there, and so the objective is to hang your paintbrushes on it, so that if they drip, when you wash your paintbrushes, you don't really want to let them sit in the water because it can mess with the bristles. And we invest in these very nice brushes. We want to take care of them, and so then you can just let them drip dry. Is that not amazing? You're so sweet. Thank you so much for making this for me. I wish I was more thoughtful. I'm such a brat.
No, you are so sweet. I'm like, I have a few of those laying around. I'm like, maybe she can use one of these.
Oh my gosh, I freaking love it. Love it. Okay, so with that said, just a little recap, you guys. We came together 1 week ago today and did a collaboration. Miss Melanie and myself, the Colored Caboose and the Chasing Sunshine by Veronica, decided to do a collaboration called Flip It for a Fan. The overall intention was to go to the thrift stores, find 2 things with $5 or under for each item, and then send it to each other, and then we get to flip it into whatever we wanted to. And when we did that, so we did that, and we're coming back to you guys live, and everyone that shared our video and wrote in the comments below shared was then entered into the raffle. And so each of us are going to raffle off one of our items that we flipped last week, and then we're going to send it to you. So whoever wins, hopefully, hi, how are you? Miss Melissa Morrow is here from Wave Home Staging and Vintage Bee Design. Thank you. And exciting cling bar, yes, cling. Okay, so you're saying the Klingon brushes are meant to be stored in water. So I've heard that, Melissa, but how do you do it so that the bristles don't like get all smashed up and stuff on the bottom? Like, tell me how you do that. Maybe do a video. Yes. Okay. So what?
Fish.
That's awesome.
I made
So,
well.
what?
I made your paintbrush holder so that you could put a little mason jar in the cup.
Oh,
You could put a little mason jar in there, and you can hang your brush inside of it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's freaking awesome. Okay, right on. You guys are freaking amazing. Okay, so I was in the weeds for a second there, but so basically we got our little names in the hat here, or jar. The folks that shared the video, and then we're gonna draw it, and someone's gonna win. So, do you want me to do your drawing first?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. So I have this. Not gonna look. Let's see.
And the winner is
Chasing Sunshine by Veronica.
no. Did you really? Okay, you're so cute. We were joking around a little earlier because I only had like 3 people that shared my video, and I'm not sure how many you had, Melanie, but I was like, I'm sharing your darn video. So anyway, go ahead and draw again. That's kind of a joke.
I had my son make me the little tags.
Cute.
Can you do this for me? And he's like, sure. So okay.
Melissa said they also make really cute, cool candies, but it's a bit pricey. Who does? Hang them in a mason jar in that tin. Okay, yeah.
I got Kathy Westmoreland.
I'm sorry, what?
I got Kathy Westmoreland.
Kathy Westmoreland. Yay! Okay, so with Miss Kathy, congratulations. If you are live tonight, then just go ahead and raise your hand and say hey, and then we will get the information and which one you want. So you'll get to pick whichever item that Melanie upcycled. Do you have them right now so you could show folks what you've upcycled?
Grab them real quick. Let me grab them.
Yay! So even if you're not present tonight, we'll still find you and let you know that you won. So you guys will be able to get your upcycled project. Thanks for jumping on, Melissa. So happy to see you. We've been on for an hour and 11 minutes. You know, we're just women talking. Can go on forever.
I know. I see you.
There is the first one. Kathy won, correct? Is that what you said?
Yes, Kathy Westmoreland.
Yes. You stayed till the end, Kathy.
Thank you.
Okay.
So this little macrame hanger that I made out of that beautiful little silver dish.
Aw, that is so beautiful. Melanie is such a beautiful macrame artist. She really does a great job.
And then I have this funky shelf made out of those awesome stirrups that you sent me. I love those things. Man, those are the coolest things ever.
That turned out so beautiful. I love that. That's so cool. So, Miss Kathy, which one do you want? Let us know which one you want. And while you let us know, I'm going to go ahead and mix my 3.
But you know what?
Hey,
anybody that entered and watched and took the time, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys. We appreciate you guys so very much. We do this for you. Okay, so while Kathy gets on there and decides which one she wants, then Melanie, did you do that really cool macrame couch that Debbie Beard featured?
Yes, I did.
That's actually how I found you. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and draw mine. 1, 2, 3, little bumblebee. And it is Autumn from
Yay!
Yay! That's so cool. Congratulations, Autumn. And you get to pick whichever one you want. And I got your information. So I will get a hold of you and get your address and ship that off to you straight away. And then if you folks that won can just go ahead. If Kathy, you could will you message Kathy and get her information?
Yeah, Kathy can either message me on Facebook or Instagram. She could PM me. I'm on both, and it's both under the colored Caboose, just like it is on YouTube. Sorry, everything's the same. And once I have the address, I will ship it on out.
That's awesome. So it looks like Kathy chose the macrame wall hanging. Would look great on my back porch. Right on. That's so cool.
Yay! I'm more than happy to send this to you. I hope you enjoy it.
I really enjoyed the way that you, your thought process, you went back to it 3 separate times, Melanie, to like you did the top part one way and then you're like, nope, don't like that, going back and doing it different. I really like that you showed us your thought process. You did such a wonderful job and you're super creative, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
So.
Like I said, I would have never thought to do what you did with it. And I'm like, she's genius. That's amazing. And
you're genius.
Are like super fancy to have that. It's so cool. You're so cute.
I didn't even answer that question. You had asked me that earlier and I got off in the weeds and forgot to answer the question. You asked how I came up with the ideas. You know, it took a while. I mean, we decided to do this collaboration like 3 months ago, right? And it took us 3 months. I don't know. It just came to me one day. I really wanted to do that. I really wanted to try to do this process that Debbie Beard had at her shop, just with that paper clay. This is a homemade paper clay. And then I did the dearest regards stamp, and then the DIY white wax. And so I wanted to cover up the bowl, and that's how I kind of came up with that, and then I just kept going with it. I don't know.
That's so cool.
Yeah, I'm so happy ladies won, and I hope you enjoy this collaboration. I know that I'm open to more collaborations with any of you lovely ladies, and I'm sure Miss Melanie is too. I just want to keep this kind of community going. And thank you guys for joining me and Miss Melanie on our journeys. I myself on my channel on YouTube, Chasing Sunshine by Veronica, the link is right here. If you guys are watching on Facebook, if you don't mind hopping over there and subscribing if you like this type of content, that'd be super great. And my other half, Jeremy, and I are going to start going live every Thursday. And we're just going to start working on this, like being really serious about it. And what about you, Miss Melanie? What are your plans for the future?
Awesome. Congratulations for making that commitment to go live every Thursday. I see it like doing super awesome for you. And yeah, I look forward to seeing your guys' faces every Thursday. Yay!
Thank you. You're so sweet. I mean, I feel like this was probably the best live that I've ever done. I feel really comfortable, and I'm focusing on you. I feel like if I was by myself, it would be really hard. But thank you for joining me, and I really appreciate your time. I know you're super busy with your family and your job, so thank you, Miss Melanie, once again.
Likewise, thank you for inviting me, and this was super fun. And thank you, all of you, for watching, and all of you who participated and support our channels. We love you guys.
Awesome. Thank you. And so with that, when you finish that mirror, where can the lovely folks see the finished product?
I'll probably post it on my probably both Facebook and Instagram. It's usually where I post my pictures. I'm going to have a video coming up soon. I'm going to redo this old globe cabinet.
Ooh, what is a globe cabinet?
It's a globe cabinet. It's like one of those architects kind of cabinet with all the little drawers and stuff in it.
Oh.
I'm going to be redoing that one tomorrow.
Ooh, that sounds beautiful. I can't wait to see it. Right on. Okay, so I will also post my finished products, I think, in my Facebook. What is it called? And YouTube, it's called the, what is it called? Community? Is that the tab called community?
Yeah, I can post this community too.
Okay, yeah. I'll post it in the community tab, and then on Facebook, I'll find a place too. I'm pretty new to Facebook, so I don't really know all the ins and outs, but we'll figure it out. So we'll see you on Thursday. If you guys are interested in coming on live, we haven't dialed down the time quite yet, but I think it's going to be 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And Miss Melanie is working on a video, it sounds like, so we'll look forward to seeing that. So I feel like I'm all done. Are you all done?
I'm done. Thank you, guys.
All right, guys. Thanks again. I'll see you when I see. Oh, wait. As always, chase that sunshine, whatever that means for you.
And happy junk.
Bye.
Bye.